Sure. Here's a creative sports drama piece within 5,000 words about Dillon Gabriel receiving disappointing news from the Cleveland Browns following rookie minicamp. The tone blends realism with emotional depth, focusing on Dillon's personal journey, the high-stakes nature of the NFL, and the unpredictable heartbreak that follows chasing greatness. Title: The Dog Days, Dillon Gabriel's wake-up call in Cleveland. Word count: 4950. 1. Arrival in the land. Dillon Gabriel arrived in Cleveland with a suitcase full of dreams and a chip on his shoulder the size of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The city was gray when he landed, low clouds, a biting wind, and a skyline that felt more rust than steel. But Gabriel didn't care. He finally made it. He was an NFL quarterback now. At Oklahoma, he lit up scoreboards. At UCF, he became a dark horse legend. Analysts called him undersized. Coaches whispered about his arm strength. But the Browns saw something, enough to bring him in as an undrafted free agent. It wasn't a glamorous start, but Dillon had never been about glamour. He was about proving people wrong. 2. The grind begins. Rookie minicamp felt like a furnace, not because of the weather, but because of the intensity. The moment he stepped onto the practice field, Gabriel could feel the unspoken truth humming in the air. You don't belong here yet. The Browns had just drafted Shader Sanders with a high pick. The building buzzed with Shader mania. Everywhere Dillon looked, a spotlight trailed behind number 2. Gabriel, meanwhile, wore number 9, and his name stitched on the back of his jersey seemed to fade under the weight of expectation. The reps were limited. The scrutiny wasn't. Quarterbacks coach Rand Peterman gave him that tight-lipped, polite treatment you give to someone you don't plan on keeping around. "Let's see what you got, Dillon," Peterman would say. "Get in there, clean reps, don't overthink." And he didn't. He made the throws. He kept his feet moving. He even broke off a 20-yard scramble that got a few whistles from the sideline. The other rookies respected him. Most had watched him in college. But respect doesn't write contracts in the NFL. 3. The wall. On the third day of minicamp, Dillon threw 2 interceptions. One was on a miscommunication with an undrafted receiver trying to make the roster. The other, a laser to the seam that was read perfectly by the safety. Shedeur and run the same look 2 plays earlier, and the defense anticipated it. After the session, Coach Stefanski called a quick huddle. "Good work, guys. Remember, we're evaluating everything. Not just your playbook recall, not just your performance, but your adaptability. Keep grinding." The huddle broke. As the players dispersed, Gabriel noticed Shedeur laughing with a tight end and a coach. It wasn't malicious, but it stung. He was outside the core, a visitor, a maybe. 4. The meeting. The message came the next morning at 7:06 a.m. QB meeting, 9:00 a.m., Coach Stefanski's office. Dillon's heart sank. He tried to spin it positively. Maybe it was feedback. Maybe it was a discussion about a possible practice squad route, but deep down he knew. When he walked into the office, the atmosphere was already heavy. Stefanski sat behind his desk, arms crossed. Peterman stood near the window, silent. A member of player development sat in the corner, tablet in hand. "Dillon, close the door," Stefanski said. Dillon sat. "You've been professional, focused, and coachable. We appreciate that," Stefanski started. "But the truth is, this league is about fit, timing, and opportunity. Right now, we don't see a clear path for you on the roster." Silence. Dillon nodded slowly, processing the words like a delayed concussion. He knew what came next before it was even said. "We're releasing you," Peterman added. "There's always a chance down the road, but for now, this is where we part. No theatrics, no breakdown." Gabriel simply shook their hands. "Thank you for the opportunity," he said, voice even. As he walked out of the facility, playbook in hand, helmet gone, locker cleared within the hour, he passed the practice field. Shedeur was out there, running red zone drills, tossing tight spirals. Cameras lined the fences. The kid with the Sanders jersey pressed up against the gate, screaming his name. Dillon slipped by unseen. 5. The fallout. News broke on Twitter by noon. Browns released QB Dillon Gabriel following rookie minicamp. 6. A call the next morning, his agent called. "There's some interest," he said. "Nothing guaranteed. A couple teams might bring you in for a tryout. CFL is an auction too. Maybe a UFL." Gabriel leaned back against the headboard. "All right," he said quietly. "Let's keep pushing." But part of him knew the road just got longer.